Hello, hello, hello. And today I will be teaching you how I will rig this beautiful tank turret I did yesterday, or I finished yesterday rather. And we will be not rigging with bones, we will be using constraints for this. Why? Because I think that especially in some mechanical rigs, constraints work better. And for tanks, I hate using bones, so we're gonna use constraints, and it's very fun and it's gonna work. So yeah, for this to work, you will have to look at a few things, specifically origin of your objects. For your tank turret, you want it to be on the turret ring. For your mantlet, you want it to be where the mantlet turns, and for the gun recoil, you want it to be where your barrel ends. In theory, or rather, where the part that you want to move ends. So in my case, it would be this part. So yeah, let's get started. Let's set up our master node where we can parent all other things we do onto. I like using empties. You can also use curves for this, but for me empties work fine. So let's get a circle. Rotate this 90 degrees. I'm just gonna select this X value because we want it on the turret. Bring it back, scale it up, and bring it up. So here, this will be our main control object. Um, Our tiger turret now needs a constraint, and it is a copy rotation. And select this one and deselect X value. And now, if you want to turn this, you can see, of course, everything turns with it. Something I forgot to mention, you obviously need to have a correct parent hierarchy. For example, everything is parented onto this main turret, and the gun mantlet, and these parts are obviously parented onto the gun mantlet, and this part is parented onto this. So just remember, like in every other normal parent hierarchy, this needs to function for this rig to obviously work. But I feel like these are basics I don't need to teach. This should be in your brain if you want to rig stuff that your parent hierarchy needs to work for this to function. So yeah, let's set up our rig then. For this, I'm just gonna put my origin here again. So let's get a single arrow. I like using this for elevation and everything else, so you can obviously use whatever you want, but I feel like for me this works well. Let's rotate it on 90 degrees. And then let's just bring it to here and bring it forward so it sits at around our mantlet rotation. It doesn't need to be exact, just put it there so that you know where it is. Bring it a bit more in. Now, this mantlet needs a copy rotation and a limit rotation. We obviously gonna copy the rotation from this, and we just want the y value, and we obviously just want to limit this value. So now up here, for me, it's something around like 1 minute, minus 109 and max of minus 73. So what this does now, if I want to rotate this, it basically locks my rotation to where my mantlet would end, or where it would meet the hull or the turret of my tank, which is very helpful so that I don't have to think when I'm animating the tank later about, oh, does my model clip? Does it do this? Does it do this and this? No, it just has a static numbers that I can't go over, which is very, very nice. Now, for the next part, we will make this gun recoil, which I will bring the cursor back here, and I will just add in another single arrow, and we're gonna rotate this as well 90 degrees, and we're just gonna bring this upwards and to here. This one needs a copy location and a limit location. And we want to set this to local space. Why? You will see in a second. And then just choose this empty, and we want to deselect Y and Z. Now for me, here I already checked out these values beforehand, so I'm just going to use this. For me, it's -2 here and minus 0.6 here. And like you can see now, I can recoil my gun. My minus, this is maybe a bit too much. Let's get to 0.3 down maybe. Maybe this is better. Like this is still too much. Could even be less, I feel like. Something around like this probably. yeah, it's much. Regardless, you get the principle. The gun can just elevate and not elevate, can just recoil inwards. You don't have like you don't have to worry about how you over animate it again. So yeah, um, now we have the issue. If you wanna rotate this, obviously like this is spasming out for the sole reason that, well, this thing isn't moving and this thing is also still there. So if we would, for example, just move our turret somewhere else, you can or you can see that these would stay there. So now what we all we gotta do is just take these and parent it onto our master node. And now if we can, and if we turn this turret now, it does not spasm out. It just works. And you have a beautiful master node which you can also open where all your control objects are in and nothing is bound to the mesh, and you can just animate on these and don't need to worry about anything in the mesh and worry about finding something and hidden parenting something. No, it's all just here. It's also very similar. You can also give these some custom shapes if you would have like if you want to make custom arrows or something. But yeah, this is my very easy turret rig, which I use for most of my tanks actually. So yeah, I hope I could give you some insight, and I probably will be also doing I will be doing a full tank rundown later once I finish this good project of mine, but that will still take a while because now I need to work on the body and the tracks and stuff, and that will take time. So yeah, but for now, I hope I could teach y'all some, I would say, mechanic rigging basis, which is just copy location, copy rotation, and limit locations using master nodes, which I think is like a very nice skill to have. So yeah, I hope you learned something today, and see you next time. Bye bye.